Okay, I guess people want a FNAF theory video. Originally, I was going to make a big timeline video, but do you need to see another full timeline video? We already know the overall story. William is evil because he's British, and he goes, "I'm going to become immortal." And then the purple guy's son goes, "Father, killing kids is cringe, stop that." And then Henry goes, "Connection terminated." And then Cassidy goes,
"Cassidy's nothing in your face. Ha ha, funny joke.
And don't even get me started on the Steel Wool era. My name is Edwin. I made the retcon. It was difficult to fix Burn Trap, but even then, it still sucks. So instead of making a big timeline with information you already know, instead I will give my takes on the topics that are still debated, starting with probably the most debated topic in the entire series, Midnight Motorist. Dun, 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 dun. This stupid hidden minigame, internally known as Later That Night, is probably the single most debated topic in all of FNAF theorizing, to this day. From a game that was supposed to tie up loose ends that was released 8 years ago, it has probably the most confusing minigame that still hasn't been solved 8 years later. In this minigame, we play as Orange Guy, driving a purple car during a rainy night. We have the option to stop at this thing hidden in the forest, and Juniors, an establishment never once mentioned before or since this minigame. Once Orange Guy arrives home, we get interrupted by Chair Guy, who tells us to leave him alone tonight. He had a rough day. Orange Guy then angrily slams on his door, only to not get a response, and check outside to find the window broken, and a set of footprints leading somewhere, and a set of animatronic footprints as well. Orange Guy then says ran off to that place again. He will be sorry when he gets back. So, how do we try to understand what is happening here? Well, we need to know who, what, and when. The who is the only thing that has even been close to being confirmed in this minigame, and that is that we are playing as the purple guy himself, William Afton. Then why is he orange? I thought that maybe this orange could be a combination of purple and yellow, but not really. Even using the specific hex codes of Purple Guy from FNAF 3 and the Night 6 speaker from FNAF 4, it just looks even more off. So why orange? Well, I think that Purple Guy isn't purple here because Scott wanted the character to stand out more from the background. He could also not be purple because he isn't in Purple Guy mode, for lack of a better term. We only ever see William Afton as purple when he's doing his evil stuff, like murdering children and disassembling the animatronics. We never see him purple anywhere else. Okay, maybe that was a lie. But maybe this isn't Afton, who knows? The first thing that most people thought of with this minigame was that this was Afton, and this was later confirmed by Garfield Kart, so I am putting my foot down that we are 100% playing as William Afton later that night. Later what night? The night of Charlie's death, probably. At least that's the theory I'm gonna go with. The rain sprites are the same, and this is the only night that we know of, or at least have seen, where William Afton drives a purple car during night. And we can infer that this minigame takes place at night because otherwise Afton just shanked a kid in broad daylight. So, we are William Afton later on the night of Charlie's murder returning home. We know this is Afton's home because he literally says it. So if this is Afton's house, probably this same house on the hill, then what is Junior's? It's probably not Freddy's, or at least not the same Freddy's location that Charlie was killed at, because Afton isn't driving home from Junior's, he's driving home from somewhere else. Junior's is just a bar that Afton regulars probably, and he's drunk and not allowed back in, and his drunkenness is a good excuse for recklessly killing Charlie in an unconventional manner. So, what is the mound? Is it even a mound? You can walk through it, but you can also walk through the cars at Junior's. Is it Dave's unmarked grave? Maybe? Is it the entrance to the sister location bunker? Maybe? But I am going to go with it being the unmarked grave of Afton's youngest, Dave C.C. Evan. I mean Afton. Dave Afton. So if I am saying that Dave is already dead, then the runaway is Michael, right? Yes. We know it is a he, and the only real candidates for the runaway, with Orange Guy being William, are his two sons. So, what is that place? It's either Freddy's or the unmarked grave, but I don't really think the specifics of that matter. Why? Because my theory for Midnight Motorist is very simple, and I've already described it to you. We see William returning from his murder of Charlie, being abusive to Michael, especially after the loss of his youngest son. The point of this minigame is to show us the death order. This minigame shows us that Dave was already dead when Charlie was murdered, confirming the death order. A lot of Midnight Motorist theories miss this. What is the point of your theory? Why would we need to see this, especially in a game that is all about conclusions? I think that simple theories are usually the best. You can nitpick anything to death to find unintended holes, like the specifics of how there's no glass on the outside, implying that it was broken from the outside, which just doesn't make sense. Maybe there isn't glass here because it's a low-bit minigame that doesn't need to style everything perfectly. Like, William isn't literally purple, Green Guy isn't literally green. Also, these footprints are from Golden Freddy / Fredbear, who at this point is possessed by just Dave, and is appearing in front of Michael. You know, it's me. We know from FNAF 1, 2, and the movie that Golden Freddy can actually just teleport and manifest like this. And if God Victim is true, Dave having more power than the other children would give him the ability to manifest like this, while the others are just bound to their suits. So what else is going on in this minigame? Well, because we know Charlie dies before the MCI, that means the MCI has not happened yet as of this minigame, meaning Cassidy has not possessed Golden Freddy yet, which is probably why Golden Freddy isn't acting very vengeful. It's just Dave trying to communicate with his older brother, while other instances of Golden Freddy that we've seen are more violent as they literally attack us when we are Michael. I believe that the guy in the chair watching TV is Henry, who was babysitting Michael when William was away. This would explain why Afton was able to get away with killing Charlie, even when he knew that there was a robot designed literally to protect her. He knew he could get away with it because Henry was at his house, not near the pizzeria. And while we're talking about Chair Guy, I need to mention this. In these 8-bit minigames, very few things have detail. But for some reason, Chair Guy does. And if this is Henry, why are they bald? Chairperson here is the only character in this minigame to have human skin color and facial features of an eye. The other two people we see in this minigame are both a single solid color. William does get facial features when we're up close in the house, when he easily could at least just have one pixel for an eye, but Chairperson, Henry, does. Now, I have a crackpot secondary theory that doesn't really change my interpretation of Midnight Motorist, but it could be confirmation that Chair Guy here is Henry. The only other time we presumably see Henry in these minigames is this. Now, what else is there to note here? Both Chair Guy and Desk Guy are sitting down, have facial features in an 8-bit minigame, but don't have hair. Also, both of them are gray, which I forgot to mention, so hi, this is me in editing. Now, the only official art of Henry we have is this, and personally I'm not the biggest fan of this design, but my crackpot theory can't be true if this is what Henry looks like, right? Henry not only has hair here, but a lot of it. Well, I think that it is entirely possible that this is Henry from a lot earlier in the timeline. This art depicts him designing animatronics, which we know is what he did at the early years of the timeline. Not to say he didn't design animatronics later, we know that he made Lefty for FNAF 6, but what I am saying is that it is possible that as the years went by, Henry got that male pattern baldness and lost his luscious locks. Chair Guy and Desk Guy both show Henry a good number of years after the founding of Freddy's and the creation of the original animatronics. So it is entirely possible that as the years went by, Henry lost his hair. I am hereby calling this theory Bald Henry. Please rip it to shreds in the comments. But back to Midnight Motorist. I am saying that this minigame exists as confirmation that Dave died before Charlie, and that is the point of the minigame. I believe that William killed Charlie purely out of spite. Now, I do believe that William cares about his kids, but not in the normal sense. He doesn't see them as real people, more like objects or achievements. He views having children as a status symbol, so when one of Henry's machines takes away his awesome achievement, that means that I should go and get rid of Henry's achievement because that guy sucks and I hate him. They kicked me out of juniors for drinking too much, but you know what they say, it's not drunk drivers that are the problem, it's drunk crashers. Time to go murder a child. I believe that Charlie's death and possession of the puppet is what makes Afton start to research immortality and Remnant, as I don't see Dave's personality causing an animatronic to act all different the same way that the puppet changes. I more so see Dave just sitting in a corner and crying, while Charlie actually tries to do stuff, which is what tips Afton off to possession in the first place, and also what causes him to start Circus Baby's Pizza World. Now you might say, what about I will put you back together? To this I say, when does he ever put Dave back together? A different death order where he knows about Remnant before Dave dies wouldn't really change this. Afton's goal has always been immortality, not saving his dead son. He doesn't care about his children. This is obvious in the minigame that this video is about, and several other instances like his neglect of Elizabeth causing her death. To me, this line reads more like Afton upset that he's losing a trophy rather than a child. He doesn't say that his child's dying, rather that his thing is broken. This isn't a great explanation, and there are always more holes you can poke in this theory, but that's what makes theorizing about FNAF so interesting, because there is no single correct answer because Scott is so stingy with answers. FNAF's story being as indecipherable as it is does create an infinite content farm, and I do like money, so let me know if you want more videos like this.